Hey everybody, guess what? Time for another video. This is Chris Holcomb with another episode of Chris Holcomb TV. Very short and sweet. In fact, I do apologize. I think I took a week off. So from this point on, Terrific Tuesdays will be when I launch a new video. Every Tuesday. Rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, cold weather, it doesn't matter. Every Tuesday you'll get a video from yours truly on various topics of real estate, various viewpoints. If I'm going through a rehab, if I'm going through a property that I'm checking just as a walkthrough to do an initial inspection, you will get that from yours truly. And the greater they are, the worse they are. It doesn't matter. This topic or this video and this episode is about ROI. Return on investment. Most people should know what it is. If you don't, this is a brief example of what you should know. Pretty much is what, especially in Detroit, most people are holding on to properties or they're flipping them as turnkey properties. So a lot of times in those scenarios, people want to know what's the ROI. The ROI is not the cash flow. People say, oh, you take home. They don't say this. They say cash flow 700. Where if you're not a seasoned investor and know the game, you know that's not what you're taking home. That's not net operating income. That is pretty much what the property is cash flowing, period. This is what the tenant is paying, $700 a month. It doesn't mean that's what you're taking home as revenue in your pocket. It's not your profit. So a lot of people like to know ROI because that gives them a percentage of totally everything and what the range they will get in their return on investment. So that's how much is cash flowing for over a year's time frame. So if it's cash flowing 500, that'll be $6,000 minus what you pay, taxes, insurance, vacancy, repairs. If you budget all of that, that will subtract from that 600 and you divide it by what you pay for the property. So if I pay 15 grand for it, I put that in that equation and I come out with my ROI. Most likely in the city of Detroit, if you're buying properties in Detroit, your ROI will roughly fluctuate from 15 to probably 18%. However, there are some 20%ers. You can get lucky, but that's not the norm. So just want to let you guys know what ROI is. So remember, it's very simple. It's the yearly income from the property versus the yearly expenses from the property divided by the initial investment. And that gives you what your percentage is. So when somebody says, I got a property and it's 12% ROI, you want to make sure what you're looking at because a lot of things go into your total expenses. So if taxes high, that drastically affects your ROI. If taxes are low, that can improve your ROI. If cash flow is only 700 when it could be 8 in that area, that affects it. If your vacancy issue could be a high turnover rate or that's what they have, or repairs because it hasn't been renovated properly initially, that could affect it. So it's a lot of things. As I always say, do your due diligence so you'll know exactly what you're facing and what the, not this year of the investment, but 2 years or 3 years. If you're holding, if you're trying to flip as a turnkey and you're just buying a property, then you have to do some guesstimations. Like I say, for example, if I'm buying and looking to buy a property, put a tenant in and it's a distressed property, I got to know what the market is for cash flow, what they're going for. Is it 750? Is it 700? Is it 800? Then I got to go by what repairs the property might need in the future, which may be, you might say $25 a month, you might say $30 a month, and then you take that over a year's time. Same way with vacancies. You pretty much guesstimate or forecast, and then that gives you your ROI. So you'll be like, all right, once you put a tenant in there, and especially if it matches at 750, all right, well then here's the ROI. It could be 17, 18. You want to be conservative. You don't want to over deliver because what about if it's not the case? They buy the property and 2 months later they roof needs to be replaced. So you got to be conservative on your repairs. You got to make sure you handle all of that property if you're selling turnkey properties. If you're buying, those are things you want to make sure of. So as always, on this short video, I just want to thank everybody for all the feedback I get. Always proceed and always am open to more feedback. If you like the video, there was a like button probably at the bottom. If you want to subscribe, it's probably at the left or the right hand corner. Subscribe if you want to see more of Chris Holcomb TV. There's a link that probably pops up probably right about now or a little bit before. So as always, I catch you guys on the next video. Y'all stay focused, stay consistent, and let's keep it going.